Jackie last week cannot make it.
I'll make it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Michael, I think this is the reason why I called for this meeting is this is a follow-up from last regional manager meeting. I think Jackie is not able to join for some in urgent notice. So maybe you can just brief a bit of background so that we can see how we can support. I mean, what was discussed was to move the business from card PN to IL. Do you have a background for this? What we discussed during the meeting with Sulong?
Okay, I think, to be fair, I think we
Hey, little bit you're breaking up, Michael. You're breaking up.
Roland, sorry. So can hear me, right? I think Wee King and Jason have a position to answer that because they are literally talking to Siu Long when he was there. But nevertheless, I think what I know is
I think it's still breaking up. The network is bad, I think.
throughout the years, right? I think itself also have a.
And you're breaking up
Yep.
still. Line is quite cloudy. Yeah. The reception.
Can you hear, right?
No, but it's a little bit like choppy. On and off, we hear you. Maybe you can message in the group. That is, because maybe I'm not sure he can. We can message in the group, the chat, just to say that the line is not clear.
Perhaps let me and Wee King to supplement because we know. Oh, my call has dropped. All right. So Wee King, I'll go first. You can supplement. The background is I think in 2005 when Siu Long first visited CAT Vietnam, and then I introduced our current business to him. That we have CBT, and because of the historical reasons, we have the so-called domestic business inherited from the old Carry Express Vietnam. The company now has been dissolved, so we have some part of the domestic business under CAT Vietnam. And then at that time, Siu Long thought the domestic distribution business should be part under IL. So this is the initial idea. And 3 weeks ago, when he was in CAT office, Ho Chi Minh office, he had a meeting with Wee King and me, and then he mentioned that he wanted the domestic business P&L to be under IL P&L as soon as we can. During the meeting, he showed us the Excel spreadsheet that he clicked on the IL tab that will show warehousing, and he mentioned that in future he want to show transportation. So once he clicked, he know how is the performance of Vietnam transportation. So this is the background, and this is something that we have to work because Siu Long doesn't want the customers. Siu Long mentioned that the customer and also the staff, their contracts should still stay at CAT Vietnam. We don't need to locate the contracts to IL Vietnam team. So the contract. Yeah, so the contracts and staff and customers are with CAT Vietnam, but then the management, the day-to-day operation, the manager will be under IL.
So it's more of a management view, but normally because our financial accounting view is a management view. So do you know that how much of the card business is on domestic transportation?
It's around 1/3, 2 to 5. Let's say 2 to 6 quarter one. domestic business contributed like around 33% of the Cards Vietnam revenue.
How do you see from the ledger? Can we see like how much is the domestic transportation from? Because we have the Card Vietnam trial balance, we have the data for Card Vietnam. How do we take up only the domestic transportation from the non?
I think for the MA pack we submitted, they are combined together. You cannot differentiate. But internally, when I manage the business with T, our local finance manager, we have kind of a menu segment of CBT and domestic.
So sorry, just to interrupt. So Jason, just to add, so the plan, let's say we're talking about KIL, Vietnam, and CAT. The idea is to move the transportation trucks for under KIL Vietnam to manage. That means every month, because as a staff and the customers are still intact under CAT Vietnam, including the domestic activity. So the idea is that KIL Vietnam is just manage the trucking fleet. So every month, based on how much the usage, they will bill to CAT Vietnam.
No. Let me supplement. Right now, CAT Vietnam, we only have like one cell phone truck and then 20-something dry list trucks. But everything will be as normal. Everything will be carried out still under CAT Vietnam. So the boss, Siu Long boss, just want to see the P&L. So there will be.
I think you don't want the FA anything change. I think just management view.
Correct.
Not going to change. It's just you want to view between separate income.
Yeah. So for example, like he clicks IL, he can see warehousing, he can click transportation. So just to show that, it's I think more of substance over form. So that means the MA pack which they submit would have to change, and that MA pack would have to synchronize when we consolidate.
Yeah, that's something for the local finance managers to work on, and also to work with Singapore team.
Yeah, because maybe it's a little bit mixed inside the CAT Vietnam, but I think you don't want to change anything on the legal structure or the business extra admin work. You can continue as it is, just you want reporting. Michael, is my understanding correct? Michael? I'm not sure whether you're on the call.
Just share screen.
Michael? Michael, I think logo. So to do this, then Kenny needs to guide how the MA pack will have to change.
I will just share screen.
Yeah. It's just MA view.
Let me share my screen. Okay, so if to understand Jason correctly, actually there's to keep everything intact. It's just that the requirement now is in CAT Vietnam MA pack is to separate out to define how much is able to define what is domestic transportations. The rest are for cross-border is a separate segmental. That's the final plan, right? The latest plan.
Correct.
Okay. So I think for right now, right, we recently make some have a discussion because all along for the IL they are using this TAP logistics, and the domestic transportation we used to have an entity that is just solely doing domestic transportation like KDSG, for example. For domestic transportation, they are also grouped under logistics. So recently, right, the discussion was to split the distributions and the warehousing, the IL warehousing and the IL distribution separately. Yeah, the transport, so that there's a visibility to look at the transport performance. So actually, our recommendation, because most of the domestic transport actually in IL is combined. So our suggestion was to use other step to split them out. But because I understand now the model here a bit different for CARD Vietnam, because CARD entity already make use of these step others. So luckily that I know that the rest are still not proposed to use. Maybe the back end we need to do some fine tuning. We also check. We will just move the transportation segment into logistics here. So I also have to check with Yanqing whether back end he can name separately. Because right now our existing MA pack we are looking at those that have logistics, they already utilize this step. Yes, right. We make use of this other step, but we will change the naming convention transport because HQ gonna add one more tab for us for transport. But for CARD Vietnam right now, we have a problem here because if the domestic transport also utilize this extra other step, right? We don't have extra place to put in here. So I also have to communicate with HQ F&A and also our side whether we can for CARD entities that has domestic transport, can we inadvertently use logistics step currently? Yeah, this part I will check with HQ F&A.
Yeah, correct. You need to align with them, otherwise they may get confused in their roles.
Yeah, but
I think eventually they should also see that just like how we see, they should also
they should create more that from the start of the year, but they make use of these others to cater all various business inside. But what if I got transport, I got CARD? How I only have one tab to use, which is a problem right now.
But it's the part of CARD, which is domestic transportation, can be directly loaded into the logistics tab.
Right now we propose we have to do it this way.
Split line means
Yeah,
part
but the HQ and Yanqing side they have to be very careful because when they pull out all the MA pack, they look at logistics.
No, normally see because all these things are linked, right? It's not like because at the end of the day it's only Excel file. So an Excel file, you'll have a problem with we reclass, but they don't reclass. That means HQ will not see the same information.
Yeah.
So of course, Yanqing, no problem. I think she can help to do the tweak, but HQ should also know how we are reporting.
Yeah, because HQ will pull everything that is logistics under as IL warehousing.
Yeah.
So they might confuse why we have using warehousing under logistics. So we will just have to communicate the same with HQ and F&A. Because I will explain to them this step is already being used up.
Yeah.
Regardless if create another name is also no use.
So maybe you follow up with a note to HQ. We are planning to do this. And anything we need to take into consideration so that for the April reporting, you can see, you can flush it out.
April
Hey, sorry.
Yeah.
Could you pull Michael into the call from your side? I tried to add him, but
I'm
cannot.
already in.
Oh, Michael is already in. Okay, cool.
So Michael, just a gist of what we were discussing is that we will work with HQ to see if we can, so we can move the CARD domestic transportation business into the IL segment for reporting. Is my understanding correct, Michael? Is that what you would like to see also?
For the CARD domestic to pull into IL, actually, my understanding
maintain for CARD. The domestic transport we will utilize the logistic tab for the domestic transport.
No, that is how you do it. My point is, Michael wants to see that CARD domestic transportation into the logistics transportation.
Yeah, for the CARD domestic transport into logistics.
Correct. So that's it. He wants to just see that how we do it is how we talk to HQ to align is a different issue. It's just more mechanics of how you do. Michael just want to see this. I just want to confirm. Michael, so you want to see basically the domestic transportation part of the top line and the GP and the cost going into the logistics transportation tab. Am I correct?
Actually, it's not me. Let me clarify again. I think just now the line was broken. So I think it was Siu Long who went to Vietnam and have this conversation with Wee King and Jason. That of course I support it because within CARD itself, for throughout the years, they already have some kind of domestic businesses. So what I understand, since Wee King and Jason are in the call, my understanding is that whatever it is within the CARD domestic, customer operation, the team, whatsoever, remains status quo. It's just like when throughout the end of the month, we would transfer this piece of P&L, segregate out from a card overland and card domestic. We segregate out the card domestic and plug this P&L to IL only. That's my understanding.
Hey,
Yeah.
Michael and Jason, and Kat, I'm not sure what you're meaning is we need to, I understand we need to separate card P&L into two, but do we need to combine card P&L to IL? I think maybe not. Then IL will have two P&L. One is just pure IL and one is just card domestic. Would that be actually easier? Means you split but you don't combine into IL. Right?
No,
So
I
I mean, you got a point.
Our performance is just measured based on two P&L. I don't need to combine IL and card domestic together. I just need to look at two P&L.
No, we can. The meaning
That
is
is my
because
understanding too.
We
Actually,
can.
Yes.
Michael,
yes.
sorry, let me interject now. Actually, the meaning is if you go into IL, because IL has the warehousing tab, IL has a transportation tab. So actually, if you park the domestic transportation into the IL transportation tab, you can still have the same view. It's basically two views. One is the card without domestic transportation. One is the IL dash transportation, right? So both of them together is the existing financial accounting view of card. So essentially, so long this wants to have a segregation, substance over form. The form is the financial accounting. The substance is how do you manage the business, whether it's profitable or not. So eventually, we also want to segregate the transportation. Technically, it's not cross-border trucking, so it should be part of the domestic transportation. So we see how the mechanics to report this one.
Okay, understood.
Right. So I think we keep it
Actually,
simple.
my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Michael.
Sorry, Kathy, you go ahead. But okay, what I'm trying to say is that, again, from my experience, that you see, IL transport. Having said that, right, the conversation I had with Samuel is that he treats whatever other non-warehouse related transport is not IL transport. Because for the card, right, even though we may say it's a domestic, but most of the time it's a line haul. It could be also the port haulage as well as the air pickup and delivery. It could be multiple kind of a domestic transport model. It's not really pure a warehousing related transport business. So I'm not too sure whether in future, I believe until today, the definition of this so-called the transportation is not been finalized and aligned among the management yet. Because from Samuel's point of view, whatever is related to warehouse, the transport, whatever is related to warehouse, yes, clear, it is IL transport. So whatever it is not, and then it is subject to really discussion. Because some countries, we may be handling some IFF local transport business. Example, haulage. Example, air pickup and delivery. And some countries, they have a capability to handle, some may not. So to my point of view, in future, not now, in future, it should be classified as transportation. Below transportation, whether we have warehouse distribution, we have a haulage, then we have a cross-border, then it's another story that we need to put in as a sub-product. To me, So I don't think this has been aligned yet. So in order not to complicate the thing and do something that is not been approved yet by the management, I just suggest, but of course from accounting perspective, you tell me which one is correct. I just suggest that whatever, like what we can say just now, whatever is belongs to cars doing, then we have this piece of business continue with card whatever. Then end of the day or end of the month, then we will only report this number, carve it out from a card perspective, and then say, okay, this 10 million of the top line with an EBIT of say 500,000 is actually put under IL P&L reporting. Am I right? Is that correct? Or hello, my line.
Thinking. No, you're not drop. I'm thinking.
Just like in the end of the day, you are right that from your own current IL transport business, you still see the P&L. Okay, your performance is top line 5 million, then bottom line is 2%, 3%. And then on the other hand, you will also see another piece of a business that is transferred from card and see, okay, card is actually domestic, it's like 7 million, and the performance is like, 700,000. Then you have a two piece of the thing that's it. No need to.
Yes, I'm thinking is that easier for everyone also. Yes, that's also my idea. Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks, Michael, for your feedback and weekend. So I think what I would suggest is, first is let Kenny check on the mechanics. Suppose let us assume that we want to move the card domestic transportation to be reported under IL transportation. So first, can you check on the mechanics? And also I want to know what is the quantum of the P&L which needs to be moved, like an estimation of the P&L. Like for example, we have first Q1 reporting already finished, right? So in Q1, whatever is the card VM, so I think Nicholas can check with the weekend and check how much is the quantum. Suppose we have moved. Kenny is checking on the mechanics. But before we move, I want everybody to, just like what Michael said, is it what we want to report? Then I will check with Solong. You're good to go ahead with the reporting, then we will go ahead with the reporting. So before we flush it out. So first just check on the mechanics. There is a thought to move the card domestic into IL transportation. Nicholas check on how much is the quantum, how much is the P&L size. And then I will propose to Solong, if he wants to move and have this reported, we can get this reported for April management pack. We don't need to change any contract, nothing. It's just a management view, right? But because it's not confirmed, like what Michael said, in terms of what the manager wants to see. So let me ask Solong, is it confirmed he wants to see this? If he says, okay, confirmed, then I will flush it out. Keep it simple for the moment.
Yep.
Does that make sense? I think, keep it like this way. So that at least we don't do something which is not,
Sure. Yeah. Agreed. Karthik, align. Jason, I just want to check with you again, for the card domestic, it's not only the distribution, right? There are a lot of the haulage and the line haul businesses, correct?
Most of the business distribution. Some
then okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then easy. Okay, then it's even easy for us once the bosses decided and say this is go, then we just go. I guess it should be done. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think it's clear. Kenny, Jinsham, Nicholas, clear. So just can you help to check on the mechanics of how to report with Lorraine's team? If there's injection, right? So that if we execute this, if you execute also, we'll let them know. But before we execute, I will just you just check the quantum of the P&L. If it's like a significant amount, of course, we can do that. If it's not significant, I'm going to have to check. And once so long approved by email, we'll push it up. Keep it like that. Okay? Thank you.
So how about FDI?
FDI, you can check with Remind.
Thank you.
Sorry, weekend.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, I need to dial in already the customer call. Okay, thank you very much.
Just quick word for weekend.
Yes.
Yep.
You can remember that time you mentioned even FDI was involved out of the picture.
FDI will be a simpler case. FDI will just we will take over the maybe we will take over the resource and the assets or the drivers from FDI. Then it's just an outsourcing business, so it will be under IL. So there is no such arrangement.
That means that they will not move the customers. It's just that they will take all.
They will just outsource the driving to the transportation to me. So it will be correct. So I will sign a contract with them. Yeah. So it will generate flow. Yeah.
Last week you told me the drivers will be the drivers they
yes. Sorry.
You need to update the Singapore team as well. The latest instruction.
So maybe we will manage the whole card. So maybe we will manage the whole transportation under card team, under one single entity. So the resource of FDI will move over to card. Then FDI will sign a outsource agreement, like a subcontractor agreement to card. So card will run the transportation for them.
So it's not KILVA anymore. Even FDI will move to card. and the
Yes. So then easy for me. Then all my transportation will just under this card domestic. Then pure warehousing is under IL.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Because I just want to share, because I think last few weeks ago we shared with Thuy, right? That means, let's say, for example, if this is your KL Vietnam theme pack. Okay, let's treat this as a KLVN theme pack, and logistics will use all along. That means in KLVN, right, regarding all your outsourced transportations or warehousing, all is under logistics. That means now if you use the L4 code transportations, right, anything that is related to transportation, it will actually do some mapping to fall under others.
Understood.
At least you define, you are able to have an IL warehousing and IL distribution, although it can be an outsourcing model, but you were able to track all the transportation activity.
Understood.
Only for card entity now, it's a bit inverse because they're already using this step, so we can't use it, which is why we have to put out some request and approval from HQ side, how they're going to change the mapping. Yeah. Okay, sure. That we understand this.
Understood. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.